Okay, welcome back to Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown. I am just going to play the cinematics that have occurred already, or should have occurred by this point in the campaign, to begin with. So, let's get going. Drag racers, and maybe... Yeah, all the way to, well, Salty Lake, I guess. Maybe even Feta there, actually.
Does the color of the sky mean anything special to you? It does to me. A hell of a lot. When I close my eyes, the sky in my dreams is a deep, dark blue. Pilots have been in my family for 4 generations. Flying's in my DNA. Even so, my grandpa didn't want me joining the Air Force. He lost faith in the Ocean Air Defense the day my dad died in battle.
You know, Abby, I wish you could see what it's like up there. Cruising above the clouds, the dark blue of the stratosphere. Nothing beats being at the controls and seeing it from the cockpit. Look here.
Gramps tossed a magazine over to me with an article. Unmanned fighters are no longer a dream, it read. Pilots taking to the skies will soon be a distant memory.
I don't see anything good coming from that.
Know what? Lying smack dab in the middle of the desert west of here, there's a bunch of planes from the last war. Some of them have been mothballed, but most of them are just rusted piles of junk waiting to be scrapped. Gramps was really good friends with the super there, so he got to take whatever he wanted, no questions asked. That's how we got the parts to build our own plane. Now, when I say we, I mean me, my grandpa, and his old war buddies. I cut my teeth working with those geezers. They taught me their skills, and some dirty jokes. But with their aging eyeballs and whatnot, I ended up having to do most of the work myself. I was at the airstrip doing some flight training when I saw it. A prototype drone. It wasn't much of a plane, more of a trash can with wings.
Laugh at it all you want, kid. But technology's always changing. If you don't keep up with it, it'll leave your ass behind.
It took 6 years and 8 months to get that engine running. And it took us another 1.5 years after that to finally get the balance of the airframe just right. I'd gone from being a little girl to, well, still a girl, just older. But now, I was all alone. Wherever the souls of my Gramps and his pals are flying, I hope it's peaceful. Then, finally, I was ready to break the sound barrier. All this plane could do was take off, accelerate, and fly up. Straight up, through the clouds, higher into the sky. Dark blue. I could almost touch it. Then I saw Osea's fighters. They were tailing something. A drone. They were going full out chasing that thing. Doing 30 Gs at least. Damn, I've never seen anything move that fast. It had a rose painted on it. The Erusean emblem. But that country's a whole continent away from here.
Right. You should have been wearing a vest with me, you piece of junk. Should have built a deterrent too.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusea has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Usea, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusea, on the continent of Usea, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Usean peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Usea was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Useans, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Usea, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusea, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusea went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone.
As of 1 p.m. today,
The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusea didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa Cassette Delise of the Kingdom of Erusea. Today, Osean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking. Tragic.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusea, on the opposite side of the Eusian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Here he comes. Mihai's looking worse. Thank God he has his granddaughters here to help him out. They're sisters, 15 and 10. Engaging the enemy in combat so we could use his physiological data to improve the drones had always taken a toll on Mihai's body. But today, he was really showing his age. The drones we based on his data were being taken down at a faster rate now compared to when the war began. When Mihai found that out, he insisted on flying to the front lines to see it for himself. Sometimes he could be so stubborn. His age wasn't the only thing affecting his health. Over the years, flying at high altitudes for prolonged stretches of time had ravaged and poisoned his body. But he was a man of grit. Today, after 28 years, he saw combat again. If his flight suit still wasn't good enough to protect him, I can't imagine how many G's he hit today during the battle. As a pilot, he exceeds all our expectations. It's going to take a bit more tweaking before our drones can match his skill.
How penal is this penal unit, you ask? This place is a shithole. If you took the stink of all the corruption in the world, then corralled it all in one place, that would give you a pretty good idea of what the air smells like around here. We got all kinds of critters, too. Everything from flea-ridden guards, rabid dogs, and a mechanic doing the stretch for life. I can't forget the rats. Yeah, we got those. And some pilots who got their wings clipped, too. One's a great pilot, but a lousy thief. One's a gambler with no luck. And one's an anarchist with no balls. Their job here was to rev the engines on the fake runways. The idea was for Erusea's spy satellite to pick up the heat sig. Even though there weren't any real fighters here, it looked like it on their infrared. I bet you're wondering, if Erusea lost the war, how come they still have a spy satellite? 'Cause someone over there was smart enough to train a bunch of computer nerds to hack into half of Osea's satellites. That's how come. Every now and again, I'd try to bust out. And every single time, those damn dogs would drag me right back. When I was in my cell, I'd hear this voice coming from the guards room. It was the Erusian princess rallying her people on the Erusian national broadcast. All us prisoners had become big fans of hers. You want to hear something funny? The guards were big fans too. I swear to God, every time she was on the air, they'd turn up the volume on the radio and sit there listening. I could see how someone like her could win the hearts and minds of soldiers and workers alike. When the princess said something, you could tell she meant every word. Lately, she'd been having more fun with her speeches, and that made her seem even more charming. You could say her charm was like a virus. Whenever she'd point out stuff that was wrong with Osea, the prisoners in here went nuts. Hell, if anyone knew how messed up Osea was, it was the prisoners. They'd shout, "Burn Osea down." No way am I just gonna sit here and rot away in this hellhole. Dark blue. Instead of building fake-ass planes to trick Erusea, I'm gonna build one that'll really take off. You can count on that. Bad news for us here at the prison. The enemy fell for our decoy base. With all the fake planes and trucks we had out, it must have looked to them like the Osean Air Force was about to go on the attack. Day after day after day after day, they bombed us. Osea didn't give a damn. We weren't soldiers to them, so go ahead. Bomb us. In their eyes, we were expendable. Worth less than the fake planes in the bunkers. No biggie. While I made fake planes, they had me put together some working ones. Then, some genius at HQ decided we should send it up, so the base looked legit. Thankfully, we had people to crew them. It didn't matter what we were locked up here for anymore. Top brass needed pilots, and criminals were all they had. A crook, a gambler, an anarchist. Just your typical lowlifes. They threw each one of them in a cockpit and sent them up to intercept the enemy's planes. But in the end, it was all just for show. So, up they went, day after day after day. Today they tossed someone new into the mix. Wonder what he did to get sent here. My dad died flying for the Osean Air Force. When your allies are surrounded, one of the most dangerous missions is giving them cover to retreat. Whoever signed up for that was a real hero. But even more dangerous than that was being the one who had to cover the rear guard's retreat. That was my dad's job, and one time, he called it off. Said it was too late for him. Said anyone else would have done the same. I found that out from a war buddy of his when he came to tell me how my dad died. The next time a retreat happened, my dad volunteered to be in the rear guard. Dumbass. He died all right. No one came to help. The news nearly broke me. Of all the ways to get killed, that's gotta be the most pathetic one ever. Am I right? There's a rumor going around about another inmate. A guy they brought here a little while ago. Get this, Talk in the cell block says he was sent here because he killed Harling, the president of Osea during the last war, remember? He's the one that sent my dad on that suicide mission. He's the reason I had to go live with my grandpa, and why me and Gramps started building a supersonic jet. He's the reason I ended up here. Maybe I should give that guy a thank you note for killing him. Nah. God, I hate the smell of this place. It's all fake and lies and bullshit. It reeks.
All right, guys, I'll let you in on some juicy info. The new guy was found guilty by the International Union Peacekeeping Forces court-martial. He is the murderer of Harling in the flesh. His TAC name's Trigger. Now, as of today, he may be attached to the Osean Air Force Base 444th Squadron. But that is just some symbolic bullshit. It doesn't really matter if he's Harling's murderer or not. Every last one of you has been incarcerated for one reason or another. You cons have an obligation to atone for your crimes. A few of you in the penal unit know how to fly, and HQ needs to plug the deficit in our Air Force. So they proposed sending you guys on a reconnaissance mission to the Waiapolo Mountains. But that idea was flat out rejected. Nope, you'll be atoning for your crimes right here at this base. This base is a decoy designed to draw enemy fire. And as members of this base, you'll be taking hits from the enemy. This will allow our forces to safely prepare a counterattack. Incoming! Switch off that alarm. It's just the usual. I thought Zapland was supposed to be an isolated area. Okay, I'm gonna need a few aircraft to scramble.
Again?
Wonder how many we'll lose today. Better than solitary.
How many can actually...
Enemy aircraft detected over the dummy runway.
We just need to make it look like we can put up a fight. Some of those piles of junk can at least take off. Let's get the guiltiest cons in the sky first. We'll start with Harling's murderer. We don't expect you to down any bombers. But what we do want is to make them think that we've got an active base here.
Okay, so we are off to a mission. Now, it doesn't really matter which aircraft I pick here. It could be whatever. Let's go with F-16 XL. Why not? For anti-air missiles. Parts. Going to remove that. Get more maneuverability. Fire extinguisher, Queen's Custom. Okay, that will do. Let's hold on. Select some skins. Okay, Erusea skin. And let's go up in there.
It's time to get busy, convicts. Proceed with your mission now.
Follow orders, Trigger. Taxi to the runway now. Check your altimeter and wait in front of the runway.
Control, would you kindly send me up first?
Spare 8, Champ, this is the control tower. You're not cleared for takeoff. Obey orders.
Go to hell.
All aircraft preparing for takeoff. Watch out for Spare 8. He's forcing a takeoff.
I'll take up command. Any objections? That'll get decided in the skies. Touche.
Trigger, your call sign is Spare 15. Consider it your prisoner number for the air. Commencing deception and interception. Spare 15
Here we go.
is free. You have permission to take off. Go now.
Up in there.
Blood's boiling! Toss the chump in solitary once he gets back. Spare 8, when you land, your ass is grass. Spare 15, takeoff confirmed. Altitude restriction lifted. Go.
So, no missiles again. The FCS is locked.
Damn, you're good. Let's make this more interesting. Prisoners use nothing without supervision. Not even a pencil.
Slow down. Deliberately.
Harling's murderer. He shot 2 missiles right between old Harling's eyes.
Get hit. Deliberately.
In this war, intel is a life or death matter.
Settle down. Excited to have another murderer with you?
Need another one.
This is Bandog. Spare 15, I'm
Okay.
on surveillance. The bombers that attacked
Here we go.
are coming back for another round. I know it's just a dummy runway. You guys just need to make a lot of noise. Make them think there's fighters at the base.
Anyone got a smoke? I'll owe you one.
If any of you die, just think of it as you atoning for your crimes.
There we go.
Any aircraft leaving the operation area will be shot down. You hear me?
Righto.
23, this is Squadron 1. Numbers we can handle. Proceed with us. Squadron, get into formation.
We're making some big holes. Filling them's gonna be a pain in the ass. Monster holes.
People just keep getting...
Using the afterburner.
I want it back. There's a juicy target.
Missed.
Blowing up a bunch of paper planes.
The enemy seems to think our Air Force is concentrated on this base. Everything on the ground is fake. Can't the enemy see that? Isn't that convincing? Shit! The enemy just hit the control tower.
Okay. Here's where the fun begins.
There's smoke! Send in the fire team. Not let the enemy get closer. Are you trying to kill me?
Shall I order them to shoot down all? Commander McKinsey? Damn it! Spare
Oh,
squadron, listen
take
up.
it easy.
Shoot down everything carrying bombs. Weapons free. You're cleared to engage. Show no mercy.
Done by now. After reading the odds, wanna bet which one of us gets the first kill trigger? Starts.
This is the penal unit.
If count's going forward,
I decide when you die.
All right, I'm assuming command. All aircraft support me. Who's gonna
2 down.
take the shoreline tone? I'll show you all how it's done.
Spare 15, bandit splashed.
Trigger, keep an eye on your head count. We can compare later. Yeah, I'm betting that report will get dressed up real pretty.
Okay. MiG-29. Not interested. Switching to 4 AM.
Radar pinged. Incoming hostile group detected. Take care of them.
Righto.
A bomber's at high altitude. Stop watching your own asses and look up.
Bingo. Direct hit. Allow me to educate you. In this unit, you get your tail marked with scratches.
All right.
The more scratches, the more heinous the crime. They're called sin lines. You have 3 scratches, right, Trigger? Well, you are Harling's murderer.
I am.
We can't break away. We can't.
Switching to 4 WAM. Gonna get fanged there.
Don't panic. This isn't our first dance.
It might not be our first dance, but it's gonna be our last. Come on, get me lock on. Shit.
Bandit on my tail.
Okay. Fuck it.
We're easy pickings now. Push it. Damn it. We were supposed to be done before the bombers even arrived.
Come on.
I got all dressed up for nothing.
Whoa, you're pretty good, my dude.
Focus on destroying the target.
Well, you just die already, Fang.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Sparing, watch your mouth. Destroy the targets. You're being slow.
Okay.
Radar doesn't work as well in there. Target acquired.
All right, let's get moving.
Bingo. Good going. That cheers me up.
Pipe down and keep your mind on the mission.
A monkey could do this work. Anyone up for some poker tonight?
How many missiles? Holy shit. That's a lot of missiles.
Fox 2.
Okay. I'm gonna leave the throttle up there, switch to mouse and keyboard. Now, the ideal scenario in this situation is to get a fast plane, which this is surely not.
Act at your own discretion.
So I'm just gonna switch to the mouse and keyboard for this to secure the win.
Break it. Break it.
Also,
6. Fox 2.
okay.
Approaching target. Open the bomb bay doors.
Hell yeah! Hey, do you have a read on the situation?
You're low on special weaponry.
Come on.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Attack missed.
Another bombing run.
I'm in position. He's mine. Fox 2.
The enemy's got a lock.
All right, that's done.
Base is decent and where it's famous for. I wouldn't go that far.
challenge. Don't let it go to your head, murderer.
Multiple bandits inbound. They got bombers and support.
All aircraft follow me. You too, murderer. Jeez, now he thinks he's squadron leader. Trigger, don't get shut down now. I got good money riding on your survival. Some guys have got big money riding on you going down, so watch your back.
Spare 7, shut up. You don't need to yap to pull the trigger.
Trigger again! Don't get excited. It's beginner's luck.
Can't maintain altitude. Bailing out.
This is a pretty nice ride. Twin service pretty good. Can't believe these things used to be scrap. Just what kind of magic does she have up her sleeves anyway? I don't know what her problem is. Acting like she's royalty or something. That's because she's the scrap queen. Queen? More like a bad-tempered tomboy. Too far, dunce. Get closer.
Okay.
Alright, am I back?
Break, champ, break! That trigger got most of them. Maybe even all of them. That was dumb luck, tabloid.
Spare 15, don't take all the fun away from your comrades. 4 targets remaining.
Okay.
3 targets remaining.
We're gonna need to...
Champ, shake that bandit off.
Bandit acquired. Firing. Bandit on my tail. Get him off me. Attack missed. I'm cornered.
Hit on target confirmed.
Okay.
Friendly. They're coming around with their guns.
Bet he killed Harling with his guns too.
2 targets remaining.
Why the hell would someone give a squadron of convicts? Gotta be some kind of reason. Now the paper-mache strategy at the base seems to be doing the trick. I guess every man and his dog has an idea how to end the war.
Okay, that's it.
All targets confirmed eliminated.
Not really.
Hell yeah! Still alive, Harling's murderer? Then dinner's on me tonight.
Cut the chatter, Spare Squadron. Mission complete. RTB. Trigger's still with us. Must have the devil in his corner. Spare 7, what happens if the one you've bet on dies while landing?
Then you win. So what, you're not done?
Just checking.
Spare 15, this is the control tower. Make your landing check. We don't want a wreck blocking the runway. Spare 15, you have permission to land. Wind conditions are calm. Too fast. Lower your airspeed. 3,000 meters. Bank right. Lower your nose. You're too high. 1,500 meters. You're past the guidance limit. Make a visual landing. At least you're down. Careful with the aircraft next time.
I lost a lot of money for that trigger. Don't forget.
Spare 15, the runway's free. You have permission to take off. Go now.
Woohoo! My blood's boiling! Toss the chump in solitary once he gets back. Spare 8, when you land, your ass is grass.
Spare 15, take off confirmed. Altitude restriction lifted. Go.
So, no missiles again. The FCS is locked. Damn, you're good. Let's make this more interesting.
Prisoners use nothing without supervision. Not even a pencil.
Here comes Harling's murderer.
He shot 2 missiles right between old Harling's eyes.
Always in the know, aren't you?
In this war, intel is a life or death matter.
Settle down. Excited to have another murderer with you?
Yeah!
This is Bandog. Expect 15 high surveillance. The bombers that attacked the runway are coming back for another round. I know it's just a dummy runway. You guys just need to make a lot of noise. Make them think there's fighters at the base.
Anyone got a smoke? I'll owe you one.
If any of you die, just think of it as you atoning for your crimes.
Much appreciated.
One more thing. Any aircraft leaving the operation area will be shot down. You hear me?
Righto.
Only 3, this is Squadron 1. Numbers we can handle. You're safe with us. Squadron, get into formation.
They're making some big holes. Killing them's gonna be a pain in the ass. Warfare balls, not people. People just keep getting stupider and stupider.
I want it back. There's a juicy target.
Look at them. Blowing up a bunch of paper planes. The enemy seems to think our Air Force is concentrated on this base.
Everything on the ground is fake. Can't the enemy see that?
Means they're that convincing.
Yes, the enemy just hit the control tower. Hey, what's with all the shaking?
There's smoke! Woo!
Send in the fire team. Do not let the enemy get closer. Are you trying to kill me? Chapter 6.
Shall I order them to shoot down all? Commander McKenzie? Damn it! Spare squadron, listen up. Shoot down everything carrying bombs. Weapons free. You're cleared to engage. Show no mercy.
We'll be done by now.
After running the odds, want to bet which one of us gets the first kill
Kills after it
trigger?
starts.
This is the penal unit.
The count's going
I
forward.
decide when you die.
All right, I'm assuming command. All aircraft support me. Who's gonna dance to your line tune?
I'll show you all how it's done.
Spare 15, bandit splashed.
Trigger, keep an eye on your head count. We can compare later. Yeah, I'm betting that report will get dressed up real pretty.
Your ass is mine.
Head to the next target. Radar pinged. Incoming hostile group detected. Take care of them.
Righto.
A bomber's at high altitude. Stop watching your own asses and look up.
Bingo. Direct hit. Allow me to educate you. In this unit, you get your tail marked with scratches. The more scratches, the more heinous the crime. They're called sin lines. You have 3 scratches, right, Trigger? Well, you are Harling's murderer.
We're cut off. We can't break away. We can't. We lost all of them. Where the hell are we out of here? Don't panic. This isn't our first dance. Bandit on my tail. We're easy pickings now. Push it. Damn it. We were supposed to be done before the bombers even arrived.
I got all dressed up for nothing.
Focus on destroying the target.
Oh yeah! Let's do this.
Sperry, watch your mouth. Destroy the targets. You're being slow.
Careful in the clouds. Radar doesn't work as well in there. Target acquired. Visual on target. Prepare for bombing run.
Bingo! Good going. That cheers me up.
Pipe down and keep your mind on the mission.
A monkey can do this work. Anyone up for some poker tonight? Fox 2.
Act at your own discretion. Breaking.
Spare 6, Fox 2.
Approaching target. Open the bomb bay doors. Hell yeah!
Hey, do you have a read on the situation?
You're low on special weaponry.
Bye-bye. Attack missed. I'm in position. He's mine. Fox 2.
The enemy's got a lock! At least he's decent at what he's famous for. I wouldn't go that far. Target's that slow on a challenge. Don't let it go to your head, murderer.
Bandit on your 6. Watch it.
Multiple bandits inbound. They got bombers and support.
All aircraft follow me. You too, murderer. Jeez, now he thinks he's squadron leader. Trigger, don't get shut down now. I got good money riding on your survival. Some guys have got big money riding on you going down, so watch your back.
Spare 7, shut up. You don't need a yap to pull the trigger.
Trigger again!
We're on fire! We're going down!
Don't get excited. It's beginner's luck.
Can't maintain altitude. Bailing out.
This is a pretty nice ride. Policeman service pretty good. Can't believe these things used to be scrap. Just what kind of magic does she have up her sleeves anyway? I don't know what her problem is. Acting like she's royalty or something. That's because she's the scrap queen. Queen? More like a bad-tempered tomboy. You're too far, Dunce. Get closer.
All right, am I back?
Break, champ, break! That trigger got most of them. Maybe even all of them. That was dumb luck, tabloid.
Spare 15, don't take all the fun away from your comrades. 4 targets remaining. 3 targets remaining.
Champ, shake that bandit off.
Bandit acquired. Firing. Bandit on my tail. Get him off me. Attack missed. I'm cornered.
Hit on target confirmed.
Lost another friendly. They're coming around with their guns.
Bet he killed Harling with his guns too.
2 targets remaining.
I don't know. Someone made a squadron of convicts. Gotta be some kind of reason. The paper-mache strategy at the base seems to be doing the trick. Guess every man and his dog has an idea how to end the war.
All targets confirmed eliminated.
Hell yeah! Still alive, Harling's murderer? Then dinner's on me tonight.
Cut the chatter, Spare Squadron. Mission complete. RTB. Trigger's still with us. Must have the devil in his corner. Spare 7, what happens if the one you've bet on dies while landing?
Then you win. So what, you're not done?
Just checking.
Spare 15, the runway's free.
Did I say you could take down the enemy? Throw anyone who disobeys into solitary.
Alright, so that was Ace. Now, I handicapped myself a lot in this mission by going with the aircraft like that. I really need a faster aircraft, more maneuverable one. Could have really gone with parts that helped with that. Or just cheated, basically, and gone with the Dark Star. That would have made mincemeat of all of the bombers. The difficulty really I used mouse and keyboard for this one because the difficulty was that if you let the bombers do too many runs on the base, and certainly my accuracy at shooting them down is not great enough. Like, I'm really struggling with getting guns, with getting the guns working. But the problem is you let those bombers hit the base too much, they're gonna destroy it. And to destroy it, you'll lose the mission. Anyway, Costin here, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications, and stay tuned for more.